Connie.
Don't let her lie to you.
Connie.
What it is for? It's for,
I know where you come from. Did you pull?
No, David did.
Did they say anything about their meter? That's the only thing I was checking to see if their meter was coming.
I had Connie.
no, we just called and asked him what they.
That's fine. And that's what I thought, that's why
Yeah.
we'll get the hours. Okay. Let me make sure.
We've got about 2 minutes if anybody needs a quick break or anything.
Email or phone? Okay, yeah, no, I don't, my phone's in there.
David. What did that say on the other side?
The city of Clyde logo.
Oh,
Same.
And thank you.
We can fix that, no problem.
Everything else, though, I'm
Okay.
good with.
Thank you, sir.
All right, the time is now 6 o'clock. I'll call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum present. If you could join me in a moment of prayer, please remove your hats. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the blessings of the moisture in the air. We just ask, Father, that you let that moisture fall. Father, we just ask that you would guide us through these meetings, lead us in the best direction of this city. We ask that you would continue to bless the citizens of this city, Father. We ask these things in your Son's name. Amen.
Amen.
Rise for the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We did much better that time at the pledge.
learning.
We're learning. All right, section 4.0, council announcements. I'll ask the council members if they have any announcements. Bo?
I don't have it.
Michael?
No, sir.
I'd like to say something. I'd like to share my appreciation with my wife Deborah for the flowers that the city sent for her mother's funeral. They were beautiful. We really appreciate it. And council, I promise that the next 3 months aren't gonna be as busy as the last 3 months were, so I'll be here to help. Thank you.
Amy?
No, I'm good.
David? I have a couple of recognitions I would like to make. When I was in high school, I was lucky enough to be part of the high school band and the high school choir. I played trumpet in the band, and I was part of the show choir. We had one student from Clyde High School make it to state this year, but he had a basketball game tonight, so he couldn't be here. We do have 3 students that made it to state for band that I would like to recognize. Scott Hull. We're shooting one, good one, all right. Derek Weber.
Right here, sir.
All right. Great job. Tremendous honor to make it to state, and we're very proud of you for representing Clyde.
Good job.
Tristan Skinner. Congratulations, great job. Let me get off of the stage. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good job,
Tristan.
Tristan.
We are very proud of these young kids for putting forth the effort, the extra time, the extra training it takes to make it to state and representing Clyde the way they do. So thank you, guys. Moving on to section 5.0, public comments and receipt of petitions.
You want me to just call him?
Yeah,
You wanna
just
call him? Kevin Hagan?
Got 3 minutes, right?
yes, sir.
You do. Starting now.
Time you to make sure that we get you right.
See if I can talk fast. State my name and my address, Kevin Hagan, 7601 County Road 112 West in Clyde. For those of you that don't know me, I've lived here all my life. I grew up over on Cherry Street, about a block south of Alsop's, in a single wide trailer house. I've seen a lot of changes in my 47 years here. And during 3 of those years, I was fortunate enough to work for the city and help with some of those changes. That being said, I'd like to take this time and thank Councilman David Mann for all his support and effort he has put into the splash pad at the city park. Some of you may know, but the park is a special place to me. I had a hand in securing the second grant to build that park. It'll be great to see my grandkids along with others playing in that one day. It is a true testament of what we can do when we join together for the good. So thank you, Mr. Mann. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Now, for what I'd like to address. I've been hearing some rumors around town about some of the council. Didn't hear any names or anything, but it's just they're talking about how people are running out of this town in groves because of everything that's been going on. Well, I just wanted to address that with my own experiences. I own One Shot Construction. Within the next 30 days, I will have built and sold 8 houses in the past 7 months. I built a set of 4 and sold all 4 before I was even done with them. So I said, well, let's build 4 more. Within the next 30 days, those 4 will be sold. All have contracts before I was finished with them. 2 of them people were from out of state. One was from Florida, one was from Arizona, and they're coming here to our little town. So, I kind of disagree with anybody that's stating that. And I have people already lining up for the next 6 that I submitted permit applications on today. I plan on building over 20 houses this year in my subdivision. If people are leaving, I don't see it. I see people loving this town and wanting to move here. I see people excited about the developments that are coming around the ballpark area. I see people that love the ballpark. I see people excited for what's to come. So I plead with you, council, to not let this opportunity pass us by, and please capitalize on the growth instead of pushing it all away. The higher the sales tax revenue, the lower the property taxes can be. The more rooftops we have, the lower the property tax can be. It all works hand in hand. Thank you.
Thank you.
You still had 30 seconds to spare.
Talk fast.
All right, moving on, Sam Gadea, sorry, it looked like an R, even though I know your name. State your name and address.
Sam Gadea, resident of actually Abilene, Texas, 1250 Tulane Drive. I've been a resident of Abilene for about 2.5 years. Prior to that, I was a Callahan County resident for 10 years. My oldest just graduated from high school last year, and I have 2 younger daughters who are still in school here. So I travel 18 every single day, multiple times, to picking them up. I've known Bill Daly for the past 13 years in Briley since she was probably 4 or 5. I know that crossing there on 243 and 18 needed a crossing guard, and I see it every day, and it's hard when it takes a tragedy like this for something to be done. I do a lot of city council stuff with Abilene and other economic development companies, and I think this is going to be my fight. So I've reached out to everybody. I appreciate Steele's support. Mr. Brown has been very helpful. I've reached out to several senators, congressmen, TxDOT. We have Union Pacific attorneys working on it to see who owns that, actually, if it's TxDOT or if it's private. Went to commissioner meeting yesterday. Commissioner Judge Harley will give us a resolution on the 23rd of support. So that's huge that we'll get that, because we need TxDOT to do a safety evaluation. But I just wanted to thank y'all for y'all's support, and I'll keep y'all updated on what happens next. We had several meetings this morning, and I think I have one more right after this. So, and I do support the rezoning of that. It's a huge economic boost, something Callahan really needs. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Aaron Young. State your name and address for the record, please.
All right, my name's Aaron Young. I live 2177 Private Road, 1122. Gotta make sure I get all my notes here correctly. All right, ready. All right. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight, Council Mayor, council members. I just want to speak specifically in support of, I'm guessing and curious, item 8.9, consideration of amending the agenda format, and to offer citizen feedback based upon the recent meetings in tonight's posted agenda. Under the Texas Open Meetings Act, the public is entitled to a clear notice of what will be discussed so residents can make informed decisions about participation. While the agenda technically complies with notice requirements, the way items are organized and open for public comment can still make meaningful participation difficult to practice. For example, tonight there are 9 regular agenda items, but only 4 are clearly identified as open for public comment. At prior meetings, I observed attendees who were unsure or if they were allowed to speak on regular agenda items. In at least one case, clarification about an item was provided only after public comment had closed, and the individual was not allowed to comment once he understood what was being discussed. From a citizen's perspective, this creates confusion and unintentionally limits informed input. When residents don't fully understand an item until after the opportunity to comment has passed, the spirit and intent of the Open Meetings Act are not fully recognized. As you consider item 8.9, I respectfully suggest to consist structure for regular agenda items. First, a brief presentation or explanation of the item. Second, open the item for public comment. And finally, council discussion and deliberation. This would help ensure public understands what is being discussed before comment is taken, reduce uncertainty about when participation is allowed, and strengthen transparency and trust between the city and its residents. I appreciate the council addressing this issue directly on tonight's agenda, and thank you for your time and your service.
Thank you.
All right. We have no other blue cards. We'll move on to item 6.0, consent agenda. Item 6.1, consider an act upon approving minutes from the regular meeting of January 13th, 2026 as printed. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 13th, 2026 as printed.
Motion by David Mann. Seconded by Jim Rector. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 7.0, moving on to public hearings. Item 7.1, hold a public hearing regarding rezoning property described as 2 tracts of land, 134.260 acres and 26.202 acres, out of the southwest 4 of section number 53, BB and C, Railroad Company Survey, abstract number 30, the northwest 4 of section number 52, BB and C, Railroad Company Survey, abstract number 1693, and the northeast 4th of section number 52, BB and C, Railroad Company Survey, abstract number 1492. Which is south side of I-20, west of the Travel Center and Hanner Sports Complex in Callahan County, Texas, to planned development. Public hearing portion, Mr. Aaron Young, wish to speak on this particular item.
Again, my name's Aaron Young, 2177 Private Road, 1122, Clyde, Texas. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. Mayor and council members, I'd like to briefly address the planned development ordinance as it relates to these rezoning ordinance items. One thing I would like to note, to make sure it's stated, is the proposed PD is along the railroad corridor that runs through Clyde. And I want to briefly acknowledge that our community has recently experienced a tragic loss involving our youth. I raise this not to assign blame, but to emphasize that safety impacts near transportation corridors are real and deserve careful consideration before approvals are granted. My understanding is that the PD zoning is tied to an approved development plan. I would ask for clarification on whether the site plans associated with these PD rezonings are sufficiently defined at this stage, or whether key decisions, particularly access and circulation, are being deferred until after zoning approval. My examples include, will the site have railroad crossings to access Farm to Market Road 18? Or will the southern area be accessible through the Legacy Boulevard? There is curiosity how the site plan will be, especially with the abundance of oil and natural gas pipelines that run through the middle of that property. Thank you.
Anybody else that would like to speak regarding agenda item 7.1? Nope. Moving on to agenda item 7.2. Hold a public hearing regarding rezoning property described as 38.8467 acres of land out of an original 51.46 acre tract of land out of the southwest 1/4 of section 53 BB and C Railroad Company Survey, which is 8120 I-20 West, north of Hanner Sports Complex, Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, to planned development. Mr. Aaron Young, speak on 7.2.
All right. Again, my name is Aaron Young, 2177 Private Road, 1122, Clyde, Texas. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak tonight. Again, I am for development, just as I've stated in prior meetings, is just to make sure it's done and safe and respects the residents of the Clyde. Building what I've stated in prior comments, I again urge the city to take a proactive approach to managing traffic and safety impacts associated with the Star Clyde and other developments in the area. While agreements to developers exist to fund improvements to city-owned infrastructure, a similar level of planning and funding has not consistently been applied to state or county maintained roadways. Waiting for TxDOT or Callahan County to implement necessary safety improvements after development is complete, or after development is complete, has or may result in delays, safety risks, and unplanned costs for the community. In prior conversations with city officials regarding Travel Center driveway and its proximity to the off-ramp, I was told the off-ramp is in a bad location. Even though it has existed for years, Parents and students regularly use that off-ramp to get to school, highlighting the ongoing safety considerations. Also, in prior conversations with city officials, I have raised concerns about the main access point for Star Clyde was told they will use the new road created for access to the Hanner Sports Complex. Based upon this discussion, my understanding was the city officials believed the access point would be approximately over 3,000 feet from the end of the off-ramp. After reviewing the site plan, I estimate the actual distance roughly 350 feet, compared to approximately 2 miles from the 603 off-ramp. I understand that that 2-mile frontage road includes 1 stop sign and 3 swales before travelers could reach the development, which illustrates the potential for congestion and safety complex onto a 2-way frontage road from the Hayes Road exit, similar to the situation at the off-ramp in front of United. Finally, not overly detailed, this level of site planning is what has been presented prior to rezoning submission, which underscores the importance of proactive coordination on land use and roadway safety before approvals move forward. Thank you.
All right. Moving on to agenda item 7.3. Hold a public hearing regarding a preliminary replat for property described as 0.5 of an acre out of a 5.755 acre tract of land out of the southwest part of section 60, BB&C Railroad Company Survey, east side of Hayes Road South and I-20 in the city of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas. Mr. Aaron Young.
All right. Again, my name is Aaron Young, 2177 Private Road, 1122. This will be a short one. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak tonight. While I plan on this being my final comment for tonight, yay! I sincerely hope the mayor and council strongly consider the subjects I have noted and others have noted in previous comments. For this item, I want to note that I understand the property in question is located just south of the Clyde Intermediate School area. I would like to ask whether are any changes planned on how this property will be zoned. If it is zoned for anything other than residential, I would respectfully ask whether it is truly ideal to rezone any area adjacent to a school as non-residential, with the obvious exception to the I-20 frontage road. Thank you.
Moving on to item 7.4, hold a public hearing regarding rezoning property described as 65 acres out of abstract 30, section 53, BB&C survey, north side of I-20 and Hayes Road North, city of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, to plan development. Anybody wish to speak on that? No?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Come forward, state your name and address.
Sean Gallagher, 627 Poplar Street, Baird, Texas. I'm the pastor of Cowboy Heritage Church out there. I just have questions as far as what the planned development is.
Okay. We are going to be going through that momentarily with more discussion from the council.
Okay, awesome. First time at a city
Yes,
council
sir.
meeting here. So.
You're good. We appreciate you coming.
Questions?
All right. Moving into the regular agenda. Item 8.1. Consider and act upon adopting an ordinance of the city of Clyde, Texas, changing the zoning use designation for property described as 2 tracts of land being 134.260 acres and 26.202 acres out of the southwest fourth of section 53 BB&C, Railroad Company Surveys, abstract number 30, the northwest fourth of section 52 BB&C, Railroad Company Surveys, abstract number 1693, in the northeast fourth of section 52 BB&C Railroad Company Surveys, abstract number 1492, Callahan County, Texas, to Plan Development District, Star Clyde number 2, Star Clyde PD 2, amending the zoning district map for the city to reflect such change and adopting the zoning district map so amended. Mr. Brown.
Mayor, council, this is the first of 3 different pieces of land that's all for development around that area. This is all going to be just north and west of the current travel center that we have there. Last month, we did away with the planned development on residential. What that allowed us to do was change that to planned development, which again allows us to have a better opportunity for developers to create and put commercial development there. Both of these tracts of land add up to the 160 acres that is currently under contract, or portions of it are under contract to have commercial development going on there. So all this does right here is, again, we've worked on this for the last 2 months, so this is the ordinance that will allow us to change, to adopt what we've changed from planned residential to planned development, so.
Questions, comments from council? David?
No.
Amy?
No.
Jim? Nope. Michael?
No, sir.
Bo? At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance for the address as described by the mayor to planned development zoned.
Have a motion by David Mann to adopt,
Second.
seconded by Amy Jolly. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 8.2. Consider and act upon adopting an ordinance of the City of Clyde, Texas, changing the zoning use designation for property described as 38.8467 acres of land out of an original 51.46 acre tract of land out of the southwest fourth of Section 53 BBB and C Railroad Company surveys, Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, to Plan Development District, Star Clyde PD, amending the zoning district map for the city to reflect such change, and adopting the zoning district map so amended. Council questions? Bo?
I'm just looking to make a statement, kind of regarding the, the importance of these developments. For example, I was looking at Abilene's sales tax that they received January 2025 and last January, or this January. And they had an increase of 54.7% in just 1 year. That's all the people, living there, people traveling. Traffic's increasing a lot, especially down the interstate. And this, provides an opportunity for us to, bring more development to the city and to get some of that revenue that's otherwise just passing us by. And that's all.
Michael?
No, sir.
Jim?
No, sir.
Amy?
No.
David? At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the ordinance for the property as described by the mayor to planned development zone.
A motion to approve by David Mann,
Second.
seconded by Jim Rector. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 8.3, consider an act upon approving the preliminary replat of property located at being 0.5 of an acre out of a 5.755 acre tract of land out of the southwest part of Section 60 B and C Railroad Company survey, which is the east side of Hayes Road South and I-20, City of Clyde, Callahan County, Texas.
No
David?
questions.
No questions, no comments. Amy?
No. No questions.
Jim?
No.
Michael?
No, sir.
Bo? This time I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the preliminary replat of the property.
I have a motion to approve,
Second.
second by Michael Shellhammer. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 8.4, consider an act upon adopting an ordinance of the City of Clyde, Texas, changing the zoning use designation for property described as approximately 62.59 acres out of the southeast fourth of Section 53, BB, and C, Railroad Company Surveys, Abstract Number 30, Clyde, Callahan County, Texas, to Plan Development District, Greenbrier, PD, amending the zoning district map for the city to reflect such change and adopting the zoning district map so amended. Roger?
This goes back to the same as the first two. This is a different piece of land. This is the 62 acres on the north side of Interstate 20, directly north of the travel center, and it's the same thing. We're just changing it from adopting this to planned development now, from what it was when we did away with planned development residential.
Okay. Open it up for council discussion. Vote?
Just, if we did, did we give, Mr. Gallagher, you know, kind of an explanation of what the plan development, what that kind of entails?
So at this time, what the discussion has, there's been nothing finalized, nothing done. So it is, if this goes into planned development to where a developer can develop out there, there is a gentleman who would like to pursue the possibility of commercial development along the access road right there. There is discussion, and again, there's, you know, he's told us nothing as far as what's going to be built. The idea is possible commercial development along the access road, that next section behind that to be residential development after that. So that's, again, there's no plans, there's nothing been established or permits or anything like that. That's just the general consensus is that commercial along the access road and residential behind. So that's what I know on it. So.
Any further question or comments, Bo?
No, I don't.
Michael?
No, sir.
Jim? Amy? David? At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance as described by the mayor.
Amy Jolly has made a motion to adopt,
I'll second.
seconded by Bo. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 8.5, consider with possible action to discuss EMS subsidy contribution. Roger?
Kelly and Michael are both here from EMS. They are who takes care of that, runs that for us there, for the whole community. And they want to share some information with council and with the public concerning where they're at financially, and the struggles that they may be going through, and what maybe can be done by the different entities, us included as one of them, who help support their endeavors for our community. So we'll let them have it, I guess.
Thank you guys for your time. Again, my name's Kelly, this is Michael. We have a PowerPoint presentation, but I do believe that Pawnee was able to present that in your packet as well.
there it is.
Yeah, we'll go. So, what many people know here at the residence, we are in a nonprofit organization. We are privately owned. We're not part of the fire department. We're obviously not part of the city, really. We have a contract with you guys. All of our current revenue operates or supports our operations with staffing, equipment, and the readiness to respond. And we've been in service for nearly 50 years now. The way we operate is we're currently, under this current contract model, funding they fluctuate. It's based on call volume rather than readiness or a fixed operation cost. While this has worked initially throughout the years, it's become increasingly unsustainable over time. Historically, we've been able to absorb these increases to maintain some uninterrupted services and to maintain our partnerships. But right now, this is what we're trying to convey to you of how we're operating right now and how you guys can assist us.
Okay, so everybody knows everything has just skyrocketed. The cost just continues to rise, and along with that, the reimbursements from insurance are continuing to fall. The number of people who are uninsured or underinsured is going up. And the government is pretty much doing everything they can to make sure that what they are providing back to organizations goes down, which is their prerogative, I understand. But it's certainly not helping us. The per call amount is just, it's not gonna close the gap. We've been trying to slowly work this up, so there wouldn't be a significant impact on any of the entities since 2016. And the gap just keeps getting bigger. So just to give a little bit of perspective, the subsidies from all of the entities, the county, Baird, and Clyde, covers about 19 to 25% of our budget. It fluctuates year to year, obviously. Factor in the lack of a local hospital, that actually is almost 3 times lower than the average. The part, I guess, that doesn't really help or make sense to some people is, unfortunately, 911, just like in the ER, it's a money pit. Reimbursement rates are just tragically low. Ambulance services make money from interfacility transfers from one hospital to another. We don't have one, so that is not an option for us. And frankly, we don't have the staff, even if we were able to get some transfers out. So we did want to provide a little bit of data. So this was a snapshot of a 3-month period last year. 307 patients billed. That was just because we don't charge for certain services. We don't charge if you get in a wreck and somebody else called and we show up and you're fine. We're not charging anybody. Lift assist, we don't charge anybody. So the call volume was actually about 360. But the patients billed, the billed total you can see there. The CMS adjustments, those are, as soon as the bill gets submitted, CMS comes back and says, this is the max that you're allowed to bill for. The net received is down there in the middle, and then obviously that's open balances. So that's just, maybe there was a partial payment from insurance, and then the patient received the rest of the bill, and they may be making some effort to pay. In a lot of cases, they just don't. So you can see how those numbers are affecting us. And then you can see our subsidy amount for that same period of time.
That's total. The county.
Yeah, that's county, Caroline County, Baird, and the city of Clyde. The operating expenses for that period of time as well, and then the wage cost. So that kind of gives you at least some rough idea of the situation.
So what Michael was talking about are the unique rural challenges. One main thing is we do not have a hospital. So our revenue for our inter-facility transfers, we took, I think, 20 last year total, while other services are having this, basically a banked, known, this is going to pay type of transfer. We never know whenever we respond to a call. So we don't have a hospital, and we do have, constant staffing needs. We're a rural area. Most of the young kids, they want to work for someplace that is a higher call volume, and we can't match that pay as well. So the people who actually do work here, they enjoy working here. They'll take that pay cut because they enjoy the community and basically how we operate currently. As spoken before, there is a demanding growth. We have seen this growth through the years. Since 2016, there's been a 22% rise in our call volume. Last year, we had 1,500 calls, 2024, we had 1,500 calls. 2025, we had 1,600 calls, so that's a 6% as well increase with that. But with this growing demand, there is a strain on our resources, and unfortunately, the rising cost is outpacing our revenue collection. So, while we have currently, we've managed very carefully on our how we operate our budgeting, but basically we're no longer able to sustain our operations without this call of intervention from each entity. We have met earlier in the middle of the month with all the leaders of the entities, and there has been a unified agreement that EMS is a necessary service for each of their residents all around the jurisdictions, for sure. The immediate financial gap that we have, basically we're asking for an urgent funding, because last year alone, our deficit was $120,000. Last month was about $10,000 in deficit. So we're supporting this through our savings right now and trying to be very tight with our budget, but it is becoming very unsustainable. So the request for action, if you total up those deficit numbers that we had last year and this past month, divide that by 3 equally. Where the bridge funding request we're seeking is $43,500 to assist us short-term support. This is a bridge solution. This is not a permanent fix. We will come back to you guys during budget season, and we can figure out a better long-term model for our operations and for your community as well. So in closing, Citizens EMS remain committed to serving each of our entities. We try to be as transparent as we can. We're very accountable and dedicated to our citizens. So we do thank you for your time and assistance with this.
I'll open it up for council questions and discussions. David?
I have a few. First off, thank y'all for coming in today. I know it wasn't easy. And I do agree that this is a vital service for our community. Matter of fact, it's a must-have for our community. heard mention to long-term solution 2 or 3 times. Do you have just a real brief snapshot of what you feel like that may look like?
So, what, in comparison to, I guess the closest example would be, Taylor County.
Okay.
They were also, yeah, they're nonprofit as well, which there's really only a handful of us left. But, the model needs to be more about the availability of the service, not about the volume. Because whether they go out 0 times or they go out 19 times, the staff has to be there. So they were doing more of, the subsidy was towards the staffing cost. And then the equipment, the fleet,
Insurance.
yeah, everything else is what is covered by billing. So, long-term, I think that's where we need to get to, and, I know that that's not something that can happen next year, or, it's gonna be a period of time before we get to that point, but that also, would mean that as the city and the county continue to grow, that it's a very reflective, as the staffing need increases, that's what the subsidy is staffing. Whatever that number is, then that's where it sits.
And last question, it's my understanding that between the 3 entities that y'all serve, that Clyde actually has the higher call volume of the 3,
Yeah,
correct?
It fluctuates
yeah, it
between,
fluctuates between the county and y'all.
38 to 42% volume.
Amy?
I'd like to thank y'all too for coming. To clarify, the 3 entities is Baird, Clyde, Cross Plains, correct? No?
Callahan County.
Just all of Callahan County?
Cross Plains has a volunteer BLS ambulance
Okay,
most days.
Okay.
We do cover Cross Plains when they go out of service, because, when they don't have staff. But we're not in contract with them, that usually just falls under the county.
okay, so Callahan County. How many vehicles, how many?
We have 4.
Ambulances, 4, and how many staff members?
So full-time, there's 8. At any given time, there's 1 crew that's at the facility. And then there's an on-call crew that's within, most of us are here in the city, but they have to be within 10 minutes of the station. So, and we got about 6 part-timers that are pretty consistent.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Jim?
I know I served on the board with the EMS a number of years ago, so I understand the problems that y'all are suffering right now. Like David said, this is a service that Clyde must have, and the county must have, and Baird must have. If Citizens EMS went under, what would we do?
If my perspective on it, I could be wrong, but I think that the county would have to take over, because I don't see any of the for-profit companies like GMR or Acadian wanting.
You don't
They-
see
they-
them coming out here.
There's no hospital. That's guaranteed revenue. That's why Allegiance has a truck posted in Sweetwater. It's to take all the transfers out of Rolling Plains. It doesn't exist here. So the county would have to step in, and the numbers we've run, the cost would be substantially higher, obviously. So that's what I think would happen, but could be wrong.
Well, recently I've seen your staff work. They're after we called 911, they were there almost immediately. They were professional. They got the job done, and they took care of business. And I know your crews work hard, and they play a big part in what goes on in the city of Clyde. Y'all have fundraisers. I see y'all out at, the days, the pecan festival and things like that. Y'all are trying your very best to survive, and you can't do it alone. So, I mean, I think the three entities are gonna have to step up and get y'all over the hump. And then maybe when we come in with our new budget, then we'll look at things like that.
Michael?
Being that I kind of come from a volunteer firefighter, EMS background, it does kind of hit hard. But I think there's ways we can earn some money. I mean, you all said you had, what, 4 or 5 squads?
We have 4 trucks.
Okay. Maybe sell one of them. I don't know. I mean, you guys got a SUV sitting there, correct? Maybe you can use that for a intercept. I mean, send that out ahead of the squad. And if the squad's not needed, there's a truck sitting in the station.
I mean, that's a consideration. But it kind of goes back to the point of it doesn't matter if the truck goes out or not. The staff has to be there. And the staff is the staffing cost is what's.
When you say staffing, how many is on station at one time? Like right now?
Like, right now, there's 3 of them up there.
Okay. How many? 2 of them basics or?
No, there's a paramedic and a basic
Okay.
that are on shift currently, and then one of the people that's on call is there at the facility.
Okay.
So, and the other one's, I'm assuming at home, here in town, so.
And y'all are on y'all's site 24/7.
Yes. And it's, if there was any consistency with it, I think that would make sense, but, I think they've had 2 calls today. The other day, there was 3 third outs. I mean, so it was just anybody who's wearing pants, go get in a truck, and
Michael, you're gonna have to explain a third out, cause
so the primary crew was out, the on-call crew was out, and then another call came in, and so anybody who could answer their phone went and got a truck and took off. So there's no, we can't know how the volume is gonna be. It could be 110 this month and 170 next month. It just, so that's the problem with trying to budget for it. It's very, very difficult for us.
Bo?
No, I just hate to see what's happening to those on the front lines of life-saving care like y'all are. And, I've been there 2 or 3 times when the, family member that I care for, when he's had to call you. And y'all were always quick, just like Councilman Rector said, very professional, amazing job. And it's just, you're first responders. And as a councilman, I have to make sure that, our community do everything I can to make sure our community has access to that and good quality care. And, everything I've seen, y'all seem to provide that. And, we need your service.
So, what other fundraising efforts are you guys doing? I know you mentioned it.
We do the 5K that we put on. Obviously, we apply for all sorts of grants. Unfortunately, most of those are, actually, all of them essentially are equipment or,
Non-operating.
yeah, they're non-operating grants. We've tried this subscription model to try and, again, offset costs, and have gotten very little response from that.
The subscription model you're referring to as well?
It's essentially, you know, you pay for a subscription for your household, and as long as you have insurance, you can participate in it. And if you call the ambulance, doesn't matter what your insurance does, you won't get a bill. Which, I mean, there's pamphlets we've posted everywhere, all over social media, there's pamphlets all over town to try and get that going.
And you've been doing this since when?
We started putting it out there in October.
It was National Night Out.
Yeah. And as far as I know, Connie is the only one that signed up still, so.
All right. Good job, Connie. The federal government has done a great job of screwing up our health insurance, and unfortunately, it does fall upon the smaller entities to be able to resolve it. I do believe that it is a vital resource to have Citizens EMS within our city limits. I believe that, you know, right now we are in such a financial strain that committing an additional $43,000 right now is difficult. However, again, I believe that government has two main responsibilities, and that is security and infrastructure. And I believe that EMS service falls under that security umbrella. So I would love to see you guys get more solvent. I think we definitely need to look at long-term issues such as, do we need 4 coaches? Do we have other alternatives that we can use to generate some revenue? But I also believe that we need to consider being able to assist as a city. So at this time,
Can I say something? I talked with Jim Goldston last week, and he is very concerned about your finances, obviously. And the bank has had some increases on their interest rates on their building. And I spoke with him last week, and he said if the entities would kick in and help and get them through till October, that he would look at decreasing the interest rates. So I just wanted y'all to know that.
it's good information. So at this time, if there's no more requests for council communication on this matter, I'll entertain a motion of some sort.
I'll make a motion for the city to contribute the $43,500 as requested by Citizens EMS.
David Mann has made a motion for the city to contribute the 43,000, look at the exact number, 501 to Citizens EMS, seconded by Jim Rector. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Hopefully you get the support from Callahan County and Baird. But we thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for your support.
And we thank our wonderful IT director for helping us get all of that set up.
Whatever.
Moving on, item 8.6. Consider and act upon adopting an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Clyde, Texas, amending Appendix FS, which is fee schedule, of the Clyde Code of Ordinances by amending Article 1.000 Miscellaneous related fees to add section FS 1.010, Clyde Community Center, to establish fees for usage of Clyde Community Center, amending Article 2.000, utility related fees, section FS 2.001, waste collection, to add fees relating to roll-off containers, amending section FS 2.002, water tap fees, to provide assess base fees for water taps and water meters, plus actual costs of equipment, providing a severability clause, and providing for an effective date. Roger?
Mayor and council, so there's kind of three different things in here. You read all three of those, so we'll attack those one at a time. The first one being, the fact that we are looking at, our community center as a rental property. Some of the things that go on over there, at different times, the Boy Scouts have rented that property. The Market Street Clyde rents that once a month. Children's Theater rents it, our car club rents it. So, in the past, we have had a rental agreement for that, and it hasn't been, actually utilized. It's just kind of over a while, it's like, well, somebody can use it, somebody gets it, and, you know, sometimes we're not charging, sometimes we are. And so this is, to put this back on in front of council and say, okay, council is looking at how do we, you know, monetize this on a regular and continual basis. So this brings it back up in front. This lets, if council adopts the fee schedule, it puts on there how much it costs to rent it. It breaks down half-day rentals, full-day rentals, security deposits, those types of things, so that now we can present this rental agreement to anybody who wants to use it, and everybody will understand that they're all falling under the very same group, very same rules, regulations, ordinance. So this is just for council to decide if they want to make that the ordinance that allows us to do that, and then the next part of it is then allowed to work on the penalty side of that part. Just that'll come up in 8.7. But for this one, for the first part of it, it is to create and let everybody know about the fee schedule for the community center. So, do you want to talk about that and then go to the next one, or do you want to get all three of them together?
We'll do the first one.
Okay.
Clyde Community Center rental fee, full day, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. is $250 per day is the proposed rate. Half day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. or 5 p.m. to 12 a.m., $150 per day. Or the option of by the hour with a 6-hour maximum rental of $25 per hour. Now, my question is, should we add an addendum to this that the fees can be waived in the event of certain nonprofit groups and stuff like that? I would bring that up to council. I do like the fact that there is a standardization here instead of just a, you know, this is what I feel like charging you today type mentality. So I'll open it up for council discussion. David?
Yeah, several things on that. While I think the proposed rates are probably pretty in line with other venues for private events such as weddings or, you know, that kind of thing. My primary concern, though, are our nonprofits and our community organizations. We'll take the Scouts, for example. You know, they're planning to host a Pinewood Derby there. $250 to the Scouts is a lot of money for a very vital organization for our community. So I'm kind of the mind that we do need to put an addendum for community groups and or nonprofits that lease this. Just my 2 cents on the community center.
Amy?
Ditto what he said, full agreement, it's just gonna, yeah, needed to be added for the nonprofit. I agree.
Ditto. Jim?
I agree. There needs to be something written in there where we can look at the different groups that come in, that's gonna really cut in. A lot of the groups that use that, the nonprofits, they're trying to make some money, and then we're charging them $250 that they're not gonna have for their uses. So we need to do something, some type of wording to where those groups we can look at on an individual basis.
Michael?
I'll echo what them three just said.
Bo?
I agree with everybody said. You know, I spoke with the Boy Scouts, troop leader, and he wanted to be here this evening, but he couldn't. He's, currently leading a scout right now, so that's gonna be the thing. They make a lot of their money selling popcorn and vendor items, and I think that's for youth groups and charities. That's gonna make it real tough.
Yeah. So I know that Baird, in their Old Water Community Center, they charge per day for usage and stuff like that. So it's not out of the realm of it's not unusual for a fee to be charged. I do believe that we should probably postpone the agenda item and work on some extra amendments prior to adopting. But we can, since all of these are on one agenda item, we
Mayor,
can,
If I may, as far as that goes, we don't necessarily have to postpone unless you want to. Y'all can give us direction. I mean, obviously, it's been made clear how we want to do that. That's a very easy fix as far as creating that, fixing this to where it says something to the point that, it will be city's discretion if that rental fee is waived. That's all up to y'all, so that's not a problem. So we can go ahead, and if y'all decide to do it, you can just do that with the, okay, we give, administrator, write this in there, and then it can be approved that way, so that's up to y'all.
as far as that goes, I'd like for the council to see the amendment prior to making a motion to approve or anything.
Yep, absolutely.
That is my thoughts. But moving on to waste collection. Roger?
Okay, I'm making notes on that one real quick.
While you're making notes, I can just read through these real quick.
Okay.
Make it simple on you. Waste collection, polycart service, residential polycart currently $27.32. Second residential polycart $14. Commercial polycart $44.10, and extra polycart $20. Those the amended amounts, or those the current?
Yeah, those are the current,
Those are current.
this one actually, this is
Roll-offs.
all, yeah, this is all in that ordinance, but the only thing that council's looking at on this part is just setting the roll-off fee. So, on that, we have several roll-offs currently that, we've had citizens ask to rent. We do not have, at this time, a rental agreement or a rental fee for the roll-offs, the 20-yard roll-offs. So this is an opportunity for the city to collect revenue with the roll-offs that we would then haul off. We could rent them out as it's stated in this with that fee. And this only has to do with our roll-offs, with our 20-yard roll-offs that we have in our yard. This doesn't have anything to do with developers or constructions, companies who come in and utilize their roll-offs. This doesn't have anything to do with a citizen or a developer who has a roll-off or they rent a roll-off from another company. This is only about Clyde's roll-offs, and it allows us to set a fee, and then if anybody wants to rent that from us, then we can collect money on that. So that's the only part of the waste, part of the ordinance on that that's being adopted or amended.
So there currently is no be on the roll-offs
Correct.
established.
Correct.
Okay. David, any questions, comments?
So, our roll-offs, we currently send, what do we do with our roll-offs now? Are they just sitting in the yard, or are we using them?
We use them, you know, we've used them on different things, like, helping the Boy Scouts, going back to Boy
Sure.
Scouts, we help when we clean that area up, things like that. But we don't have any way to commercially rent them out,
Okay,
to
that's what I-
officially rent them out or anything. The city can actually, you know, use them for whatever the city agrees or wants to, but we don't have a way to justify a fee scale for renting it to, and go back to the Boy Scouts. If they were to come up and say, we're going to do a huge whatever cleanup, and we'd like to have this one sent over here at this location, then this would allow us to do that for them, or anybody else for that matter. Or a developer that comes in and doesn't have their own roll-offs, they could rent that from us for a month while they're constructing houses or deconstructing if it comes to that. So, this allows us a little bit of a revenue stream for something we already have that we're not currently gathering money on, but we could be.
And currently, the roll-offs, is this in line with what other companies are doing with
Yes.
roll?
Yes, and we've gone through, and so like for the $100 charge for us picking it up, that covers our two people, hour and a half that it takes to do this. So everything is built into that particular scale, so.
Amy?
So according to this ordinance, it's the $275 per month, and then another $100 to pick up, and then $100 to bring back, and then their landfill fee?
No, it'll be $100 to pick it up, so they have it, they've rented it for a month. The first time they get it full, they call us, we take it out there.
And that's $100
That will,
plus
that will be
landfill.
$100 that we put on that bill. We will get a scale ticket, we'll get a ticket from the landfill, so that actual cost will then also be included in that bill. And then we take it back out there to them until they're done with it. So if they go 3 or 4 or 5 times that it needs to be dumped, that'll be $100 plus landfill fees each time that we go dump it. But it won't be an extra $275 like that. The $275 is for the month rental, so.
I'm just curious about the per month with the 1 month minimum. I mean, I feel like the delivering, well, I guess per trip would be $100. I just don't know where we came up with the month. Is that a usual
month
thing? They
minimum
keep them for a
seems
month?
little- The month minimum seems a little strange.
Yeah.
And it can be that if council wants to break it down and say, okay, well, if you wanna rent it, we're gonna rent it to you for $15 a day, 25, 50, whatever council wants to come up with. This is a fee to set, saying, okay, we're gonna charge $275. This is our roll-off. We are trying to generate this revenue on this. If you want it, you don't have to keep it for a month, but it costs $275. That's what it costs to rent the roll-off. And you get it for a month. Now, if you're willing to pay the $275 and you only need it for a week, well, then we can rent it to somebody else after that part, you know, you can keep it for a month. So, but again, these are the fee schedules that we come up with. We sat down with our Public Works Director, we sit down, we looked at what it would cost, what it takes to have this, and the ability. This is the number we came up with. Council gets to, you know, y'all can say, hey, no, I think it ought to be $250, or it'd be $200, it ought to be, you know, we rent it by the week and we charge $125, something like that. This is what we come up with to give you to
Yeah.
consider.
The $275 sounds fine. It was the 1 month minimum, but, yeah, okay.
Jim?
Looking at the rates for our commercial customers, for an 8-yard container, basically, they're paying $888 a month. So $275, I don't think is too much. And that counts, taking the trash to the dump and all that too. I think that pricing is pretty much online.
Michael?
Only thing I can think of is we need to put some sort of stipulations on what people throw in the dumpster. I know hazardous materials, something like that, where the landfill may not take it.
Do we have anything currently in that, Roger?
We do, so if they come in to rent that, the rental agreement has that, it does break all that down, and it does, it has to be flat topped, you can't just have stuff hanging out of it, protruding off the sides, it has to be able to be covered like that, particular things can't be thrown away. So yes, sir, you're right, we do have that, and that's in that, when they come in to do the rental on that, they'll have to sign, they'll have to agree to all of that, so.
Okay. Bo?
Oh, well, my thing with this is, looking at the title of the agenda, looking at the council communication, just pass these down. You see there's an increase that's put in there, and this whole thing is gonna be amended into it. What's it? Here you go. Yeah. Now, there's an amendment in there, this amendment will replace this whole part, section FS 2.1 to increase second residential polycart. Also increase the price dramatically, $15 for the commercial polycart. And the extra commercial polycart would also be increased by almost a full $1. Why is that the case, Administrator Brown?
All right, so this isn't even something that was what we've been looking at as far as doing. So if these are numbers, here we have this right here, this is something that, when we pass the budget to start with, if this hasn't been adopted, if this hasn't been fixed, then that's something that we'll work on there. Because this isn't even, like I say, you handed this to me right now, so this isn't something I've had a chance to look at as far as we are working on the trash service for the roll-off and then for this, so,
This
what you're
current one
questioning.
here is our latest ordinance. This is ordinance 2025-11, which was passed back September 9th. That's the last time that the trash service was, it just feels like this is being pushed through to try to kind of sneak this in, is the way I feel about it.
Well, that is absolutely
Hang on,
not the case.
hang
So,
on.
hold on. We'll address these one at a time. To reference what the question is.
If you don't mind, I know I just came up here, but I hope that's okay with you. I think we looked at the fee schedule on the website for the fees possibly, and then we just added the roll-offs. So I just wanted to clarify, we prepared this. If there's any discrepancy in the collection rates, we just thought we were going with the current rates based on what we knew of, and we added the roll-off. So I just wanted to let you know that we prepared it and it wasn't any type of sneaky, it's supposed to be the current trash rates plus roll-offs.
My real fear there, that
Yeah, no, all we were intending to do with this is add the roll-off charges, which is that bottom subsection, I believe. Anything else, we thought that was the current rate, so any discrepancy is totally on me.
So, in this situation, to kind of clarify, the question is, the numbers from current service do not, they reflect a different amount in the proposed section. That was an unintentional oversight. That portion should be stricken from the adoption, provided that there is a motion to adopt.
Well, since we're gonna postpone on the, community center, we'll definitely make sure we get that fixed before it comes back to y'all.
You got it. Okay? And section 3, amendment of section FS 2.002, water tap fees. Are you still writing over there, Roger?
I am, but I'm listening to you,
No, that's
sir. Go
okay.
ahead.
I'll go ahead and read through it. Utility-related fees of Chapter FS, fee schedule of the Clyde Code of Ordinances is hereby amended to read as follows, and all other sections of said article shall remain in full force and effect. Water tap and and meter fees. Water tap, $550 plus actual cost of water meter, MIU, and parts. Water meter install, $250 plus actual cost of water meter, MIU, and parts. Can you explain this one?
Yeah, so we have looked at the fact that we haven't, our water tap fees is set at $550, and it's been that way, that's it. It's water, it's the MIU, it's the meter, it's everything. And, as you can see by the, handout that we gave out here earlier today, it is extremely low. We aren't even covering what it cost us to do this, to install the water tap, to connect to, excuse me, to connect to our water system as it goes in. The meters, the MIUs, all of those are more expensive than actually what we're actually charging just for the meters. It also talks about the meter drop where we connect also. After the system has already been, we've gone through the first round when the tap is made, we don't actually put a meter in right then. If we have to come back and put the meter in, and this can even be for a house that, say, somebody has vacated or left and it's gone, now we need to put a meter in there. This is why it covers that on a separate issue. So this is to bring the city's fee schedule more into line with surrounding areas, and the fact to cover our parts and labor, just simply to do this. Again, everything's gone up so much since the last time we did this.
So can you explain just in layman's terms, a water tap is required when?
So water tap, whenever, say, we have a developer comes in, they build a house, they are going to have to connect to our water system. So the water tap is exactly that. They're going to wind up tapping into our water infrastructure at some point.
MIU?
MIU is our digital, so we moved a few years ago to our smart meters. This is the part of the meter that allows us to read that. This is the smart part of that meter.
So this is not gonna affect any existing water lines? Homes, this is only new homes or development?
Exactly, yes, sir.
And water meter install, $250 plus actual cost of water meter, MIU and parts. How do those relate to local areas?
As far as the prices right now, so water meters change, they're different. So a 3/4 inch line, what we do, what we have, 5/8, we have larger meters for different developments. Those are all a different price, but whereas we were just charging one price for everything. So when we take this now to say on the install, the $250 is what it's going to cost us to send 2 guys out there to actually do this job, the time that it takes, the labor part of that. Then we need to charge for the actual meter, because it's gonna be a different meter. And at different times, next month, inflation goes up, that price is gonna go up then. 6 months from now, it's gonna go up. Setting it this way where we do a set fee, which is, relative and good for the area, it's comparable. So this allows us to then charge for the set fee for the labor, and then adjust without having to come back and change our fee scale every time the price goes up, or, the price of pipes or the meter or the metal, anything goes up. This allows us to do it that way and just charge for the actual parts. At which point, before the customer or developer, whoever it is, they will see exactly what that price is. So when they come in and say, I need a meter tap for this, it's gonna be this size, it's gonna be this much, it's at this location, then, Public Works, Jerry, we're going to, have that, he'll have that written out, they'll get the estimate, they'll know what it is before they ever, so.
Okay, open it up for council.
Would you like Abilene's?
I'm sorry?
Would you like Abilene's?
Yes, I would, because that's kind of where I was going with that question, so.
This is the current one that I got in
Abilene. I'm a home builder, and I'd be more than happy to explain it to you if you want.
Yeah, if you don't mind being an expert in your field.
My name's Tony Held. I live at 4700 Interstate 20 West, Clyde, Texas. I've been a home builder for 26 years. This is a current one from Abilene. I build all over the place. Currently, Abilene charges for a 3/4 meter and tap $500. That's them coming out, putting it in. The meter, they charge me from water from day one they put it in. There is no other fees except for a water bill every month. They don't charge me for that $500 for them putting it in and the meter included. Their fees for, my total bill was $1,590, and that was for all my inspections, engineering fees, plan and review fees, and then they charge us by basically what the project's gonna cost. It's a fee. But really, the water tap, it's $500.
Okay. Can I have that copy?
You can have
please?
it.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you.
They have smart meters.
They are smart meters, and they have the little pigtails on them. I build in Anson, Albany, they all have the same thing. They're all, as far as I've been paying for years, they've all been $500.
Okay. That was kind of my question, is how we compared with local cities. Now this, water and sewer taps for Baird, water tap 3/4, $1,500, sewer tap $750. Where did these,
We actually called the cities and asked them for their rates.
You want me to speak on that?
you've already been, so I would like the information personally.
New construction, like Kevin has a subdivision, when he put it in, they have sewer taps. Most subdivisions, I'm sure his probably has sewer taps sticking up, and then you come and put a water meter. Where y'all charge extra money for $750 for a sewer tap or something like that, it's an existing place that doesn't have taps already in place. So then you gotta pay somebody to go out there and you'll tap the sewer, you'll tap the water, and then they charge fees for that. But even like subdivisions, new subdivisions, there's already a water tap in most cases and a sewer tap there. You're just putting your water meter on it. But if I were to build a house right next to this right here, there's nothing, so you've gotta dig the hole, tap everything, and so that's why there's extra fees for that.
Okay. I understand. So at a minimum, I feel like we probably need to do a little bit more research on this one as well. This being the final portion of the change in fees. As I said a minute ago, I feel like we should postpone this one, but I will entertain a motion at this time.
I'd like to make a comment before we make a motion on this. All these are good efforts, and I appreciate the efforts. One thing we wanna do, make sure we are doing, is covering costs. When these come back, I would recommend we separate each one as its own agenda item, so that if we do need to make an amendment to one thing, it's so much simpler to do and to keep track of.
Yeah, I agree, and you can include that as part of your motion.
Absolutely. I will make a motion to postpone. What is it? I'm gonna turn so many pages. I'll make a motion to postpone 8.6 to come back another time, and would also recommend that we separate each item out as its own agenda item.
Have a motion from David Mann to postpone and separate.
I second that.
Seconded, race to the finish line by Amy Jolly. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Moving forward, item 8.7 on the agenda, consider and act upon adopting an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Clyde, Texas, Chapter 1, General Provisions of the Clyde Code of Ordinances by adding Article 1.010 Clyde Community Center to establish regulations for the reservation of the Clyde Community Center, providing repealer and severability clauses, providing a penalty, and providing for an effective date. Roger?
Well, you don't need to, this should be not acted on at all because it has to do with 8.5, so, or 8.6, so all it is just a,
I'll just put no action.
yeah, no action on it.
No action as it's affected by the previous agenda item. Item 8.8, consider with possible action to discuss city-owned properties for potential sale. We postponed discussion on 206 Oak, 170 Private Road 6050. Roger?
So, last council meeting, council wanted to pull these two particular ones off till a couple of different things happened. One of them was 206 Oak has, at that time, had a tenant in there. So it was going to be a discussion on whether the tenant was gonna go with the building if it sold. And since then, and we've had meetings with the tenant, the tenant is no longer in that building. So what had caused council's concern to require postponement is no longer there. So council can make their decision if they want to sell it or put it on, without, because again, there's nobody there to talk to or worry about on that part now. So that's why it's come back.
Now, have they already moved, or are they?
They will be moved by the 3rd of March.
Okay.
So they are currently in that building.
And in regard to property at 170 Private Road 6050?
Council wanted to look at dividing that property. So the property itself that has the building on there, well, we currently use as a Parks and Rec, our code enforcement, our special projects building, that is on one side of a street that does not go all the way through. So there's a possibility in the future that County Road 120 could be connected via this county road, connected to the access road. Currently, it's not, it's actually blocked completely off. But whenever we had Johnson Realty look at this, they included the whole entire piece of that. So what council wanted to do was look at taking that section off. I pulled that out and talked to them about how we would just adjust the starting bid for it, and so we've subtracted that part of it if y'all want, and that will separate that. We don't have to sell that, or we have a different, amount for just that 1 acre. It's just almost an acre, but when you add the section that we would actually need to give up the width of a road, it does put it right at an acre now, so.
Will that require a replat or anything?
Yeah, we would have to separate that out since it's all one piece of property.
So, open it up for council discussion. Bo, you have any questions, thoughts on those two properties?
Not really.
Okay. Michael?
No, sir.
Jim?
No.
Amy?
Yeah, I'm all about economic development, buildings and everything. I just wanted to say something about 206 Oak Street. I mean, I'm all for if their buildings are falling down, dilapidated, whatever, they're no good. I am excited to sell that, let a home come in, let a business come in. It's good for the community. But I feel like the one on 206 Oak Street is it's better for our economic stability to have it, for us to have it for future growth for our downtown. So, just want to let that.
David?
Quick point on 206 Oak. The last week or two, in going around different meetings and whatnot, we are seeing rapid growth in this area. I'm not saying we shouldn't sell 206 Oak. I'm saying I think we should really consider what the next 1, 2, 3 years looks like. The city itself may need some expansion of space. or there may be other benefits that come in that the EDC can help with also with that. I just don't wanna rush into that. And as far as private road 6050, I really feel like we need to go through the replat process prior to listing it. That way, everything's already separated, we have our easement, there's no questions, there's no confusion going forward with it. I do believe that that is a valuable piece of property, and I think it would serve us well, perhaps to move it, but I think we need to go follow our procedural steps to get it done correctly. So I would propose to,
Not quite there yet.
it's just an opinion at this point,
Yeah.
Steve.
So although I do like the idea of having properties, we have debts to pay. We have debts to pay because we overspent and we didn't plan for our future at that time. And we need to look at every alternative we can to pay our debts. EMS a minute ago asked us for $43,000. We just opted to support that. We still have to pay debts. And selling these properties, although, you know, having properties is a great investment for the city currently, we're in a situation that we need to pay off some debt. So, at this time, I will entertain a motion on both properties, separating the properties, whatever you guys are wanting to.
Well, I'll make a motion to, for 206 Oak Street to list a property for sale.
I have a motion from Bo Davidson to list 206 Oak. Does your motion include any direction on 170 Private Road 6050?
Figure we can just separate those out.
I have a motion from Bo Davidson to list 206 Oak. No second. Motion fails. Entertain another motion.
I would make a motion to postpone any action on 170 Private Road 6050 and 206 Oak as we continue to evaluate and/or separate the properties out.
I have a motion to postpone action on 206 Oak and 170 Private Road 6050.
Second.
Seconded by Michael Shellhammer. All in favor? David and Michael. All opposed? Jim, Bo, Amy. Motion fails.
I would like to make a motion that on 170 Private Road 6050, that we go through the replat process on that so we can make some future decisions with it.
I have a motion by Jim Richter to go through the replat process on Private Road 6050. Replat separating out
that acre of land from where the building is out there.
Motion by Jim Richter,
I'll second that.
seconded by Bo. All in favor? All opposed? Well, we have a unanimous approval. Regarding 2060, no action taken. Moving on to item 8.9, consider with possible action amending the agenda format. Roger?
Councilman Davidson has brought to light the idea of, and he brought up here a little bit back, of moving our financial statement from after we come back from executive session to before. It's a good idea. It works to where sometimes we go into executive session and we could be in there from 5 minutes to an hour. And so we come back out of executive session and a lot of times there's no action taken. So anybody who's interested in the financial statement has to wait for that length of time until they actually get to that part. So there's nothing in the way it's set up to preclude us from doing that. So if council wants to, it's just a simple changing of where we locate the financial statement. That's what had been brought up. Now, I know that earlier tonight, some other items have been brought up about the agenda. So if council wants to discuss that, that's up to y'all. But as far as what we prepared is just, at that time, was only talking about moving the financial statement portion.
So as it stands, we will limit it to the agenda item, and we can add further adjustments on future agenda items. Council discussion, Bo?
Yeah, before I was seated here, you don't often come over here for the meetings, and I watch it on the YouTube stream. And problem is with the financial statements coming after the executive session is sometimes, the executive session can last like an hour and a half. And most of the time, the stream had already ended, so it was very difficult to get that information. And just be transparent. It's it's unreasonable to ask people to wait for such a long period of time, to 45 minutes to an hour or more, for everybody to get from executive session. To me, it just makes sense to go ahead and just move it before then. That way, everything's just put there. And that way, the only thing that would happen after executive session, unless there's a statement by the city administrator, would be to vote on, whatever actions to be taken from executive session.
Okay. Michael?
I agree with Will.
Jim?
Either way, fine with me.
Amy?
I don't have anything.
I have no opposition to it.
All right. At this time, I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. Consider with, 8.9, consider with possible action amending the agenda. Really, we should, or make a motion to move the financial statement, portion of the agenda before executive session.
I have a motion from Councilman Davidson to move the financial statement prior to executive session.
Second.
Second by Councilman Shellhammer. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. All right. Moving into financial statement. Since we just moved it.
Do we have to leave it the way
Well, I think we still have to leave this one away.
We don't do it this time.
Unless we're not
Eileen?
even set up for it.
No.
I'm right here. You, as the mayor, can say you want to talk about it now.
Talk about it now.
We can do it.
Make it simple.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready for the PowerPoint. Oh, yeah. Get this.
and while he's doing that, can I just say, as far as YouTube goes, when y'all say you're going to executive session, YouTube's done. The filming goes off. It's done. We don't see anymore.
Okay.
Just so you know.
No, not yet. Okay, regarding the financials. It is warm in here.
Because I'm standing here.
Let's get outside.
Good one.
We could go outside.
Dad joking today.
Okay, in an effort to kind of make these simpler to understand, Mr. Davidson has put together a slide presentation regarding the financials.
What did you do?
Oh, and Chief Barnett,
Don't put a cough in the, come on, man.
there it is, there it is.
Don't move.
Yeah.
Something came out.
Rip the cord.
Lord have mercy.
I did too. Oh, it's like an IR sensor. Okay.
That's coming out of your budget.
And he's got that nice one.
There it again.
So this is kind of an ongoing process to kind of, every month, to kind of make the financials a little bit more easier to kind of present. And, actually, I'm on the wrong side. All right, so the summary for this month. Now, the big thing about, this covers the month of January. And some places up to today. The thing about January is we start getting in our property tax revenue from the county. And so that's why the revenues are higher than normal at just over, 1.078 million. Our expenses for January is 1.45 million. And that's primarily paying down debts. Because they start going, they actually become due on February 1st. The February projected revenues of 1.9 million. And expenses about 1.85 million. And a lot of that is due, and in fact, what's in that projection has actually already been done, is paying a note called the Energy Savings Performance Contracting Note. So the total property tax revenue so far, we got, I know we got December's and January's so far, and that's the 1.619 million. And the total debt service for February 1st, now we try to pay that a few days before then, is the 1.762 million. Which is a little higher than normal, and I'll kind of explain why here. This is showing what our debt service is. So the first six here, and I kind of divided it by general fund and enterprise fund. Enterprise fund is basically your utilities. That's going to be water. That's going to be sewer. That's going to be trash service. Its primary way of getting revenue is through utility payments, whereas the general fund is more, property taxes, sales tax, franchise fees, and so on. So those three certificates of obligation, the 2010, the 2022, and the 2023 series, those are the amounts that we pay here in February, or February 1st. And the way it's set up is we pay the 1/2 of the annual interest. The principal amount, what they call maturity, is due August 1st, plus the other half of the annual interest. The performance services, that's the ESPC, the Energy Savings Performance Contracting, which was part of a grant that went into forbearance on August 1st. And because of that, we had to pay fees. It was like $27,230, plus there was $2,000 in attorney's fees on that. That has been paid, and that was paid right at February 1st. And that was the amount there. That's why it was so high. The projected expenses for February is because of that 1.116 million. So all that is current, and we're good on all that stuff. These are our account balances. So our big one right now is our general account, and that's, of course, related to the general fund. So that's gonna be things like, police, fire, streets, library, all kinds of good stuff. That's pretty much every department except for water, sewer, and trash. The enterprise account right now is at 61,487, which is, pretty standard here at the beginning of the month. We would like it to be higher, but that's kind of fortunately the position we're in right now. The EDC is the Economic Development Corporation. They're kind of a separate entity from the main the city itself, or what they call primary government. So that one is what we use for economic development, and they primarily get their money from that 0.25% sales tax. You pay the 8.25%. That's where that 0.25 goes to, is the EDC. The reserve fund is to go towards, I think right now is just paying for the TAN, am I correct?
No, it's just sitting there drawing interest.
Just drawing interest. Good to hear. And that is, we use it to help pay, put ahead of time. Think of it as like a savings account, put ahead of time to help pay debts. And we have been using it for the tax anticipation note, which was taken out back in November before last. The project development fund is 30,000, Parks and Rec 22.5, and the cemetery fund at 21.3. Total accounts throughout the city. Now there are some smaller accounts with less than $10,000. We got the 770,000, and minus the EDC, since we can't use those EDC funds for the primary government, is the $378,136. This is looking forward to August. It's very important because, we got to start now that all the February stuff's paid on. This is the stuff that will have the interest or the principal on it, and so we got to start right now getting ready for that $1.652 million, and that is what we're going to be paying right at the end of July. And this has been the month, August 1st, has been the one that's been difficult for the last few years for the city of Clyde. So that's why, we've been trying to do a lot of things like selling the property and stuff like that, because it is really difficult to get through that month. This is kind of just a public debt in detail, and I can make a printout of that, anybody needs it. Actually, the final payment date on there is a different format. But that's just showing what all of our public debts are. It shows the final payment date. We got the principal outstanding, interest outstanding, and the total outstanding on those. So the total outstanding we have on everything until 2053 is now $64,559,000. And with that concludes the financials.
All right, so really is an attempt to make sure that we are being transparent in our government. I'm glad that somebody else can dissect numbers, because I cannot. Thoughts, questions, financial statement, David?
I think it's pretty well been covered.
Okay. Amy?
It was good. Kudos to the library. Went up. Good job.
Jim?
I'm good. Thank you.
Michael?
I'm good.
Bo, anything else to add?
No, I think that's it.
At this time, we will circle back to agenda item 9.0, executive session. Council may enter into closed or executive session to discuss the following. Item 9.1, convene into closed meeting pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551, Government Code, Vernon's Texas Codes annotated, in accordance with the authority contained in Government Code 551071, consultation with attorney concerning Callahan County Water Supply Corporation. Government Code 551071, consultation with attorney concerning Abilene Flying Bisons. Government Code Section 551074, personnel concerning city administrator. Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney concerning city administrator. Reminder to council members that no action can be taken in executive session.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I don't have that.
I'll send you one, sure.
I figured.
Why not? Can you send it directly on Facebook, or do you want to print out?
If you send it to me on Facebook, I'll print it.
I mean, we got a good printer right there.
So I
I don't
found
mind
it,
printing
and I found that this was an assumed name, and I found the person signed it in Missouri. Is that all accurate?
Yeah, yes, so the legal entity is Abilene Sports Entertainment LLC.
Actually, it's gonna take a little while. That setup is updated. It's honest as you.
No big deal.
My ownership group has a house that is in Abilene. But the primary business address is the Missouri address that you have.
Okay.
And then, but my owner is actually in town pretty much
Okay.
full-time now.
Yeah, I mean, I have to head back there with them.
Yeah, I know.
They can't be
Yeah,
there.
no, I understand. I
Do you
just
have my information from
I
the
have
email?
the email.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see what they say, and then we can get back to you on that, and I can change that information too, because I've pulled Secretary of State, I just wish that would speak
I saw the surprised look on
That's
your
fine.
face. and I was
I
like,
appreciate you introducing yourself.
So, yeah, I got you.
Honey.
I'm just running to grab something to drink. How are you?
So Chris, do you come out and hang electronics in people's homes and stuff?
On the side, I do. IT jobs are never done. Apparently, anything that plugs into a wall outlet, that's what we do.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. I'll be here when y'all get out.
That wasn't too bad.
Well, it depends. Hey, this is your computer for him. Good to see you, Mark. How's that phone over there? You coming?
Yeah.
So all we have to do is report on that thing. Yeah, I'm lucky I found it at your place, because it's a dangle. But it is yours, it's not, I mean, it came from your office, so I mean, so whatever you wanna do with it, do whatever. He's got halfway to do it. Tell me if I can print it out. I tell you what, I took them to jail on my beers. They're gonna be back there forever. Is that still stringing? Yeah, I gotta keep going. Well, I love seeing that. Yeah. It'll hear it pretty apart. So, I guess you wanna take it home with you? No, tomorrow. No. Dude, I don't. If I keep that cord in there,
You wait it
I gotta set them up.
the charging cord and all that?
Yeah, I gotta set them up. I haven't set anybody else.
Yeah.
Does he got it still on?
Somebody wants to take me
You know,
on.
it's taken.
So he can set up, that's what he used to, or that's what they used to use out there.
need you to break down the door.
Oh, I did do this one. They made me come in.
Sorry.
Me too.
Are you gonna come see us tomorrow afternoon?
No, morning if I can. Well, what time? Don't get until 10, huh? Oh, I'll already be working here then. 'Cause I gotta move some offices here, so. Just holler at me when you're ready.
Anytime in the afternoon. You don't wanna come over there when you've got 23 kids
I'm
and
out.
15 adults.
I'm
and-
out. I got 4 kids of my own. I don't wanna do it.
We
I'm
do
out.
toddler time tomorrow morning.
That's right.
Mhm. They're darling little children most of the time.
I'm sure they are. I got 4 of my own, though. I don't need any more darlings. I'm supposed to
scared them away, Jerry.
I guess so.
Pachow.
Miss Linda's not scared of me.
No.
She ain't scared of nobody.
It rained out there.
It did, or still? It did?
Yeah, it's wet on the ground. I thought it was supposed to be warm tomorrow.
I see something.
Sorry, Roger.
Time is now 9:30. I call this meeting back to order. We do have a quorum present. At this time, I will entertain any motions regarding Callahan County Water Supply or Abilene Flying Bison.
I will make a motion to approve the operating agreement with Abilene Sports and Entertainment LLC, doing business as Abilene Flying Bison, contingent on CISD gift deed language in contract. Is that correct?
A second.
Waiving
Waiving,
gift deed language.
waiving the gift deed language in the contract.
I have a motion by David Mann, a second by Jim Rector. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Are there any other motions?
Regarding Mr. Bison.
Regarding the bison, or?
Or Callahan County Water?
Okay, no, none of those two.
Okay. With that being said, at this time,
I have one more for the recruiting.
yeah, we can take a motion for the recruitment. Yeah.
I would also make a motion to instruct Connie to prepare and start the recruitment process for a city administrator.
Motion by David Mann to start the recruitment process,
Second that motion.
seconded by Michael Shellhammer. All in favor? All opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay, that completes all the agenda items for today's city council meeting. At this time, it is 9:33. I